And welcome everyone to Sim Racing Short Trackers. We are live here for the final race of the regular season. This is, last but not least, the non-winners bracket. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty simple. Non-winners from this season so far gets the race to try to make the chase. The one that is the last, or the one that has not won, tries to make the chase. So we're going to have a new winner guaranteed tonight, 100%. Got a special, well, two special announcers in the booth. Both have won this year. We got the one and only Royce Schiavano and another special guest, Adam Maddox, who is the main admin of SRST. Guys, great to have you in the booth. Looking forward to tonight.
Thanks, buddy. Glad to be here. Glad to not have to be in this race, to be honest.
Let me ask you a question, Royce. Welcome, by the way.
Sure.
Let me ask you a question as the warm-up comes to an end. Grid get ready to take place. You've won multiple races in these Super Late models. Adam, you have too, and y'all can both elaborate on this if you want to. Iowa, a different type of track that we normally see here in the Super Late models. What are these guys facing?
Yeah, these guys are facing a grueling race that Iowa's a big enough track where the draft will come into play, and setups aren't as important here as they would be at other typical tracks. So you're going to see a little bit of an equalizer go on, but as long as these guys can keep the fenders on it, it's going to be important to do so.
Royce, got anything to add to that?
Well, that was Royce.
I'm sorry, Adam. Sorry, I don't know why I said Royce. I was reading names.
It's all good, man. You know, there's a fine balance here between pushing too hard and burning the right front up, and then burning the right rear up, trying to spin the tires, get off the corner. So it's gonna be an interesting race there. They do have a set of right side tires tonight.
Okay.
They have, that if they want, they have to take before lap 100.
Adam, let me ask you, I was thinking of this before we came on the air because you talked to me a couple days ago and wanted to join in the booth and stuff, which was awesome. I'm actually glad to have you on here because I think it gives everybody out there a better perspective of the race. Let me ask you a question. When you decided to make this league, what was the thought process? You're not allowed tires. What was the thought process of all these rules that you all have added to make the racing what it is now?
You know, we want to try to be as simulating as possible. So I consider this a simulator. Others debate that, but you don't go to super late model races and see fast pit crews changing 4 tires all the time. You know, we want to try to make it where people really have to drive a car over the course of a race and not just go out there and hot lap and change tires every caution.
I love what y'all have done here, man. I'm looking forward to this race. It should be a fun one as the pace car does get ready to pull down here in just a few moments. We're going to take one more lap around. Royce, knowing you're not in this race, man, how much pressure does that take off of you, knowing you can see some of these guys drive and even learn a little bit about these guys from a different standpoint?
Yeah, I think this is a big opportunity for these guys. When I won at Bristol earlier in the year, it was a huge relief because it was a long time coming. I'd finished second and third a couple times to the 6 and to Josh Hart as well. So I got so close without getting there. So kind of felt like Chase Elliott for a little bit. But once it happened, it was a huge relief. So being able to watch this in the booth is a treat, man. You
know, one cool thing about this people don't know about TRN, today is our 200th broadcast on this channel. So I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to really be really good. I think this race may have something special and a really good finish towards the end. So the pace car is getting ready to drop off. This is 125 laps, I do believe. Pace car pulls in. The green flag is out, and we're off green here for the Sim Racing Short Trackers. Last chance dash 125 at Iowa Speedway. We're already 3 wide in the middle of the pack. You can see going down into turn number 1 and 2.
We got one around, and he saved it. It looks like 44 in the back half of the field.
Yes, it is the 44. It looks like it is James Babb, I believe, who it was. Up towards the front, we got a battle. It looks like for the... Oh, I'm watching the 60 right now, the 00. Guys, if y'all see anything, just chime out. If y'all want to talk about somebody out there on the track, just chime in at any time. Adam, I know you're also doing race control and stuff like that as well, but go ahead and chime in any time. We got one for the lead, I believe. Adam Jocelyn.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know a lot about Adam Jocelyn. I know a little bit about him here and there. Anybody, I'm sure you all raced with him a couple times. He's a really good super late model racer, though.
Yeah, I have. I've raced with him in official races, and he's pretty darn respectful out there. He's got a very high I rating too, almost 4,000.
Yeah.
So that shows you how much he puts into these super lates. So he'll be definitely one to watch.
Now this was I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I've run with him before too, and he's definitely pretty quick. The other thing to note when you're looking at stats, though, is he's got that 1.36 safety rating, so let's see if he can keep the fenders on it.
I also see some damage on the 14 car. Bob looks like he's got some right front damage. I don't know what that's going to do here. And really, this track is honestly a pretty good sized track for these type of cars. Wouldn't you all agree? I mean, normally we're near Smyrna, Oxford, I think, a couple times, but this track honestly is like a mile and a half for these cars. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that's why aerodynamics are so important. So you definitely got to show respect early, keep everything on it. And these guys are doing a great job at doing that. Some other people without the talent that these guys have would have already lost it.
Now, I'm sorry, you actually mentioned the invert. What was the invert for this one?
The invert for this one was 10. The max we do is a 1 through 10 invert, and we've had some pretty high ones lately.
The 8's going to get loose. He may go around. He's going to put it up in almost to the wash. Jamie Christensen, what a save by the 8 car. And he's going to lose quite a few spots now, falling back all the way back to 16th, right behind the 18 of Donald Clark. Honestly, I think Donald Clark could be one of them guys that could get in tonight. He's been fast the last couple weeks. I don't know if I know you all have raced around him quite a bit. He's been up towards the front. I know his I rating really don't show it, but he races way better than his I rating shows.
Oh, definitely. He is a much better. We've got a caution coming out there, Adam, so let's see what's going on.
Yeah, the 29 of Hunter Rott, it looks like. Don't worry about the little overlay that's popping up, guys. That is something I got to take off with the new overlay. The 31 also involved of Ryan Lange and Hunter Rott, and it looks like the 29 has blown up from what I'm seeing. Yeah, he did blow up, so unfortunately that car is toast right now. So caution coming out. Let me ask you all a question now that the caution, we're starting to grip back up. When do you want to go in and take your tires? You mentioned that you could take 2 right side tires. When would you want to go in and take the 2 rights?
Yeah, that's the all-important question. I would say most likely people are going to save them for at least lap 70 or so, but race control said at the beginning of the race that they can't take them, and correct me if I'm wrong, Anna, no later than 100. Is that correct?
Yeah, once that lap number clicks over from 100 to 101, you're not eligible to take the tires anymore.
Okay, so that's a pretty big, thing these guys got going on in their mind. Not only they're trying to win the race, but you also got to worry about the tires and when you want to take them, because if you take them too early and somebody takes them later, I mean, we've seen races this year already with you guys where somebody comes in, takes the tires a little bit later than normal, and they just go around everybody like no problem. Is there another track on the schedule that kind of refers to Iowa that we currently run right now this season or will run?
The sore subject for me, the one I should have won earlier this year, was Richmond. It's very similar, just a little shorter, but very similar tracks in shape and layout, lines coming in and out. It's almost identical to me.
Royce, you got a track that's kind of like this one. Would you agree with Richmond as well?
I would. That was the first one that popped into my head, so I don't want to bring it up because I know Adam Maddox has said is a sore subject, but no, these two are pretty much identical in my head. So
for anybody out there, one of the guys that are currently in the chase, we got Logan Runyon, who does have 3 wins, and let's be honest, that's not much of a surprise. Let's just be real. Average finish is 7.13. Then we got Joshua Hart, another very good driver, 1 win. Then we got Adam Maddox, who, Adam, you're in here. I'm not saying it because you're in here. Not really much of a surprise to see you get a win. Honestly, you could have had 2 this year. Not really much of a surprise to see you there. Then we got A.J. Rogers, another very talented super late model. Usually always in the top 5. I think, he's got like 3 top 5s, I believe. And then we got Royce Schiavano, and Royce is in here as well. 4 top 5s and a win himself. And then Chris Stump, also a win. Is there a track that you all think that you need to get better at, a certain type of configuration for this chase that's coming up? We go to Near Smyrna, South Boston, Southern National, which is, to be honest, kind of like a mini Bristol, but you run the lower side, and then Langley. Is there one of them tracks in y'all's mind, in your mind, that you have to get better at in order to win this championship?
Definitely, for me, it's going to be Southern National. The the more bank tracks are not my strong suit.
Okay.
I'm a lot better at somewhere like Langley, but Southern National, I've always struggled with that track.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually don't own Southern National yet, so that's gonna be a
man.
steep learning curve for this guy. So hopefully we can get ourselves in a good spot after the first couple of races to be set up there to just hold it consistent.
Well, there's one good thing. You get one extra set of tires for each of the chase races besides the first one at Near Samara. The thing interested about the race next week is that it's under the afternoon sky. I believe it may be late afternoon, but it is under daylight sky instead of night. Does that go about? Do you go in and approach that different, knowing that you don't have the comfort of the night track or whatever the temperatures? Do you go in and approach that a little bit different than what you would if it was nighttime?
For me, I would say I like it hot and slick.
Okay.
But with it being one of my first times at the track there, it might be smarter to be on the safe side and kind of have the cool temps to keep the car stuck to the track a little bit better. But some guys cater to themselves one way or the other. But either way, it's going to be an eventful week, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like your whole team in general actually does better in the daytime. I don't know why, but it seems like it this year anyway.
Yeah, I enjoy warmer temperatures, and I enjoy a looser setup. I enjoy a little less grip. Yeah,
Right.
I think it also it separates. A lot of drivers can't drive that, and I think it separates the field a bit.
And for people that don't know, Royce and Ada both are teammates for the SRST team. They also are teammates with David Knowles. Jerry Stone, I believe, is in this race. They are. So we're going to see how they do right now. Jerry Stone in 19th and David Knowles 17th. Pace car's about to drop back off. Adam Jocelyn going to be leading to the green flag alongside the 25 of Jason. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, guys.
I would say Tarasenko. Let's go with that.
Tarasenko?
I like that.
Okay, that works. All right, green flag is back out, and Jocelyn's going to take the inside and will be able to clear, it looks like, the 25 for now. Here comes the 14. And right behind them, getting close, here comes the 11 on the outside, 26 to the inside, 3 wide down into turn 3. Maybe contact between the 11 of Brian Hacker, not going to happen, and actually the 14 right now falling back a little bit. I wonder if that damage is starting to hurt him.
Yeah, you know what? It looks like it is, and he just scraped the wall entering 1, trying to get that extra momentum into the corner there. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that for sure. But these guys are 2x2 and holding it steady.
You all expect the high line to come in a little bit. Is that a possible thing here, or will we see these guys, try to get to the bottom and run that yellow line?
Well, when I beat Royce at the track in another league, I definitely had to move up to that high line in order to get that win, and so I fully expect the high line to come in tonight.
Okay.
And I tried to stretch my car out 4 or 5 widths wide, and it didn't work. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of guys doing a later apex too, if they do decide to stick to the bottom there. That's one of the ways I used to get around here, but to be able to get that long shot off turn 4 down that long curved front stretch is going to be key as well.
Yeah, and I like that late apes and 1 and 2 to get that long, nice run down the back stretch. If you're holding it down too low, you have the potential to get the rear where it's going to want to come around, especially if you're trying to pass someone. Jacob
Smith and Patrick Smith, any relation that you know?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay. Reason why I'm asking that, Jacob Smith, 2 top 5s this season. Honestly, he's running 8th right now. May get past here by the 75, and I was just curious if there was any relation there. But you also see the 00 of Russell Brown in front of them. Jacob could be another guy that tries to get a win here. Right now they're going to have a pretty tough time. It seems like 83 and a 25 currently, and you can throw the 11 in this mix as well now. Going to be the 3 cars to beat, but there's a couple guys that we mentioned earlier that with the invert could be coming up through the field. We'll see how that plays out here in just a few moments.
And that time by Dale Albright in the 26, who's running 5th, was the fastest car on the track, so let's look out for him.
And you're right, Albright's another guy that, to be honest, not underlooked by anybody. He's one of them guys that is you usually see him in the top 10. He was actually a couple of times, I believe, inside solid to top 5. I would have to look at the stats, but I think he's actually got a few top 5s this season.
Yeah, Dale had some horrible luck in qualifying last week and missed the show.
Right.
and he came back last night in the Truck Series on Tuesday night and won the thing. So let's. I think he's got some
contact.
built up.
14's going to hit the 26. 26 is going to save it, slide back up.
Lock it down. Look at that.
The commentator's curse comes true, and it ain't me. Yes.
Man, I feel terrible. I'm never talking about Dale again.
I'm not going to lie. That's horrible. I feel really bad for him. But it's nice when a different Adam does the commentator's curse, you know. But, yeah, that is pretty bad.
Want to put out there, it looks like TJ Graves in the 22 was involved as well. I saw him on the inside lane there smoking. So,
and that's a big one.
He'll have a chance to get that required repairs fixed. But he was, him and I are pretty close. We go back to our days at Wall Stadium over in New Jersey. He races a 4-cylinder there, so he uses this as a good way in the off season. So just a shout out to him.
For sure. It's always a good thing. iRacing does quite a bit to help actually real life drivers. A lot of people might not think so, but I actually think it's a pretty big thing. I think we mentioned that. I think Adam mentioned that a few moments ago about how realistic it is. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I need to grab a drink. We'll be right back here in just a moment as caution comes out. This is caution number 2. We're 19, make that 20 laps in now, I believe. And I actually did not have my ticker up, so well, not the main ticker, but there we go. It is up now. We'll be right back right after a quick commercial break.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Welcome back to Sim Racing Short Trackers here on Wednesday night. Oh, we are at Iowa Speedway, 23 laps currently. Wait, how many laps are we actually in? Give me just a second,
guys. 25 here.
Okay, I just realized something that I need to fix, and on this overlay that is not on there. I don't see where it shows how many laps are actually out there. That's awesome.
Nope.
I just noticed that.
I do like the overlays though. Ed.
I do too. Yeah, for $100, they better be good. And I gotta get the guy to help me fix that. So anyway, yeah, they look pretty good. I need to fix a little bit more things on them, but you know, we'll get there. So we are on lap 25 right now. Adam Jocelyn currently your leader, alongside the 25. They've been pretty much up front. Laps led so far for Jocelyn 23, about to be 24. Green flag about to come back out. If pace car drops in, green flag is out. We're back to racing at a little bit slow start on the bottom side, about mid-pack. I don't know who the green car is. Almost got in the back of someone there, but it looks like it's going to be okay. As the 25 and the 11 now working for second. The 60 actually gets some of the apron there. Justin clipped the apron. Going to be okay, though. Don't look like there's going to be any consequences for that.
And I think the note about, we got a car going around. Patrick Smith.
Patrick Smith goes around. Yep, the 75 as the yellow comes out. Take a look here. And he was actually out in the inside of Donald Clark, and that 00 is right in front of him. And he actually got some of the apron as well, it looked like, and overcorrected some. Did spin it back to the inside, which is definitely a good thing. So, caution comes back out. We'll double them back up here in just a moment once again. So, Adam, anybody that wants to join, I know it might be a little bit late for some of these guys to get in right now, but anybody that wants to join for anything else you're going to do in the future, how can they go about joining it?
So Adam might be doing some
admin stuff. So, Royce, you can tell me.
Yeah, sure. So Adam just redesigned the whole website because we're now reaching out in terms of our brand. We're not going to be just short trackers. We're going to be starting some new deals soon come the next season. But if you go to srstracing.com, there's everything you could want there. There's the link to the TeamSpeak. There's bios and all the admins. There's a form to fill out to join. And I think we had one or two guys join tonight that wanted to hop into the last chance race. So Adam is always quick on the trigger for accepting invites. And, as long as there's nothing crazy out there that would warrant against you joining, being accepted, it's a great league to join, obviously.
Thanks for the kind words there, Royce. Sorry, I had to step up and handle some admin stuff.
Oh, you're fine,
no
man.
worries.
Yeah, you've been in here quite a bit, Royce. I mean, you've been in here for a while yourself. What season is this for you now? You've been in here, like I said, quite a bit, or quite a while.
So I joined iRacing, I think, full-time maybe mid-2013, and I remember racing against David, Jerry, and Adam at different times, and mostly probably in hosted and maybe one or two official races. I recognized the names, and we'd, stayed in touch and decided that we wanted to. They were looking for a new member. They thought the fit was fine, and I think it worked out pretty darn well. We all have a passion for these short track cars, just like everybody else in this race, and
right.
It's a natural fit.
Right now, guys, if anybody's wondering, Adam Jocelyn led 27 laps. Jamie Christensen, the only other driver that has led a lap. He's got one underneath his belt. Adam, I was talking to Royce a minute ago. He said you all are working on some new things. Of course, 2018 should be a big year for everybody. I know we're working on stuff on my end as well. But anything you want to share that he hasn't shared, or that you didn't hear him share probably, that you're going to be working on or getting worked on?
Yeah, so currently we have a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night series. And Wednesday night's our big night. Wednesday night will continue to be our big night next season. I'm feeling that the super late models are getting a little saturated in the market. Every day I see a new super late model league starting up. But I think other short track cars that are being left behind that are really good cars, and I really would like to bring those to the forefront. So there'll be some announcements here in the coming weeks of what we're going to be doing. And then every other week on Thursdays, there's a really exciting series we're putting together that's going to be a World Championship series. And it's going to be all sorts of cars on all different types of, every other week for the rest of the year. Big payout at the end. I think we'll get a wide range of people.
Yeah, and, it's pretty interesting to see, because I remember the first time I started broadcasting with you all last season. It's been a few weeks, well, a few months now, I guess you can say. You had a bunch of people show up. You got rid of some people that, that honestly no offense to anybody out there that couldn't drive that great, but you've actually turned the league around. I'm gonna be honest, like I said before, this is one of my funnest leagues that I broadcast. I love broadcasting the super late model stuff. So it's really cool to see how much the league has even gotten bigger since just I joined, and watching some of these guys come in. I mean, you got some really good, talented drivers that come in here and race. Logan's one of them. Adam Jocelyn, we see him. You two guys, of course. It's been pretty cool, and it's been, very fun to broadcast. And I hope people do watch it. I know our kicker's a little bit. Oh, now I got the laps working. I don't know how I got that working, but anyway, we're on lap 30 now too. Oh, it just changes by itself, which was not supposed to happen. Anyway. It's been really cool to be in here and watch you guys race. I know watching how hard Royce actually raced against Logan a couple times has been really fun for me. And then watching Maddox put the door to Logan, I guess we could say, and win the race at Bristol, which, by the way, my favorite race so far of the season. So that's awesome. And I'm glad both you actually did make the chase. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We're about to green here, but maybe during the next caution, I'll give you a little
yeah, for sure.
Everyone a little history of the league and where we've come from.
Yeah, for sure, because it's definitely interesting. All right, so you heard just now, we're about to go back green here in just one moment. Pace car is about to drop in, and we'll get this thing going back here in just a minute. Front, still Adam Jocelyn leading the way with Jason. I'm sorry. And then 11 of Brian Hacker going to be starting third. Pace car does pull in. Green flag back out once again, and that was a better restart that time on everybody's part, as we actually got the 25. Actually has a nose out in front of the 83 as we go down to turn 1. Going to go a little bit wide. Let's see if he can get the run out of turn number 2. With the tires starting to become a factor now, he does get a run out. I don't know if he actually may have touched the wall there, get ready to go into 3. He actually did. Got damage.
He's in a good position here, though, Adam. If he can hold it here, I think he's going to take it away.
Yeah, it looks like the damage is not going to affect him too much. He actually did lead that lap, so we got our second lead change of the night as the 25 is going to take the lead, possibly be able to clear the 83 as he works off turn 2 and does clear it. Now the 54, Jacob Smith, we mentioned him just a few moments ago, starting to use the higher line. We're seeing the higher line come into play as we are just only 34 laps in?
That's correct.
Wow.
Jacob Smith leading a lot of the race last week. Before A.J. Rogers took over. And if he can keep that car clean, he's going to be a big threat tonight.
Jacob's a really good driver. That's one thing I'll say about him. I've watched him quite a bit this season, and he's a really good driver. And you can see it's showing here already, and hopefully it continues to work out for him. We're actually on board with the
here and relish at how great this racing is. I mean, we see guys feeling down to the yellow line early in the corner. We see guys rolling the high line. This is pretty awesome to watch.
It is. It's all over the place right now. We're actually almost got 3 wide with the 60 and Donald Clark almost making contact. And
we got a wreck here in the back. The 17 and the 17 of Tommy Haynes and the 92 of David Knowles made a little bit of contact here, and it looks like David's got some right front damage. He's going to want to repair there, but I don't know if you have replay.
Yeah, I got it. Yes, sir.
Adam. Yeah, go for it.
There you go, the 17 and the 92 hard into the outside wall. Looks like it actually, it got quite a bit of damage on the nose of his car. I can't exactly see how much. There you go. Yeah, the right side looks like, I love the nose of that car, by the way, Royce Shivano. I just now seen that. Just now seen that, but also the 17 getting involved. So hopefully, though, one good thing about this track, though, with the Super Lates is it's a little bit bigger than most tracks. They can come down and get the damage repaired, right?
Like, yes, I believe. They can come down.
Okay, so that's one good thing. It takes a few seconds to go around this track, and that's one good thing about that is that they'll be able to come down and get most of the damage fixed and be good. So we're on lap now 38. Adam, you were speaking a minute ago about the history of the league. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we started early 2015, and we blew up pretty quick. I mean, we had 4 series a week, and it was big. I mean, we had street stocks, legends, late models, modified, sprint cars. I mean, the sprint cars were struggling, and we had a league, and we were putting 18 to 20 some sprint cars out there on the track. And we had Ray Farlow, who's multi-time iRacing sprint car champion. I mean, we had some really good guys, and we decided to take a little break when I moved back to Virginia, and we did a super late model series when I moved back here It was our Pro Series. It was on iRacing Live, actually.
Wow.
We gave out like $500 worth of prizes.
Right.
I mean, it was a really big thing. And then we had some series that were kind of false starts. Just I couldn't give the time I wanted, and now I'm in a much better position. And we're trying to claw our way back. And I think there's a lot of really good short track leagues out there, and I'm not trying to be any of them, and I'm sure they're not trying to be any of me. I think it's we all offer something that is good for these racers. And,
yeah, it's unique. You know, we broadcasted a league on Sunday night, the NASRA. I'm probably saying that wrong. I've always called it that. I don't know why.
Oh, that's it.
Is that actually it? Okay.
Yep.
I've always called it that, and I don't know why. But anyway, and they run the Super Late models as well. You can see the difference in both leagues. I love broadcasting both leagues. So I'm not here to say one's better than the other or not like that. You can see the similarities in them, but you can also see the difference. Yes, the similarities are, you know, the cars, the tracks somewhat, but the difference is the personalities of each driver. You can see drivers in each race that has a different personality, and even in their driving style. And to me, that's what makes the racing unique on each standpoint. So I love that fact, and I love broadcasting Super Late models. Between us and everybody else out there is listening, Super Late models are my favorite to broadcast. And I'm actually a NASCAR top guy. I love the oval stuff. I love the Red Light Racing Series I broadcast on Monday. But I love short track racing like the Super Late models. I don't know what it is about the car. It's just the way they sound, the way they get up and go. I don't know. I love broadcasting them. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, you're right. You know, you mentioned that there's a lot of Super Late model leagues. There wasn't probably a lot around in 2015. I started in 2016, and there wasn't a whole lot that I knew about Super Late models as far as leagues go until, well, last year, to be honest.
Yeah, and really, you know, I think, you know, we have some really talented dudes. We're not Sarah, who has the top of the top. Yeah. But we have some really talented dudes. I mean, we have the CRA Super Late Model champion, who had a great finish in the Winchester 400 this year, is the CRA championship holder in Logan Runyon coming in here, and I got to put a bumper on him and get my first win. So, I mean, how cool is that, right?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But one thing I want to highlight here, Royce, you're Adam Jocelyn. You've dominated this race. Now you're sitting third, and there's a chink in your armor. You got two guys who are really fast in front of you. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, if he does have the car that we think he does, and he thinks he does, maybe he just waits it out and follows in some footsteps, sees what they have in the short run, and then you know, pulls out the revolver for the long run, so to speak.
Real fast, do y'all think some of these cars, not saying anything bad about the 25, but do you think that's a short run car from what we're seeing so far?
I don't know. I think if anyone's got a longer run car, I'm thinking the 54's got it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so the pace cars get ready to drop in, and we're going to go back to green here in just one moment. So far, 2 lead changes. Let's see how that higher side works now on this restart with Jacob Smith. As pace car pulls in, green flag back out, and a pretty good start that time for the 25. As we're actually 3 wide, a little bit further behind them guys as well. We're going to stay up towards the front for second and third. And here comes the 54. Jacob Smith going to look to the inside. Wow. Yeah, that was a power drive. There may be contact behind these guys as well. I don't see nobody spinning. So here comes Jacob Smith to the inside, trying to take the lead. Which line will work? Looks like the high side going to stay there for now as we get ready to go back down into turn number 1. Adam Jocelyn looks on. You can actually see him in that number 83 car. He was actually, he actually started, what, second place, I think?
Adam started
third.
Qualified P3.
Yeah, started third. Okay. So you see him right there in 83, and here comes 54 once again. 54 looks like he's actually a little bit faster, but he can't get around using the bottom line. How would you go about trying to set up a pass here, knowing this is a highline track? Maybe what we're seeing from the 83 right now.
Yeah, ultimately you got to go where the other guy isn't, right? So maybe he experiments to see what it's like on the bottom. If not, then try to get a run where you can kind of do that late apex that we had talked about earlier and get a nose under him going down the front stretch.
If I'm in the seat tonight, I'm protecting that high line with all I got.
Right.
And I am stalking the 25 and waiting for him to mess up. That's my style.
Got some good racing here with the 11 of Brian Hacker, the 51 of Jason Day, Donald Clark, and there's the 2 of Andrew Wooten. Andrew Wooten, by the way, is a very good driver. I don't know if you all probably raced with him a couple times. I actually got to watch him race for the first time the other day, and a very good driver. And then you got JP. I never get his last name right, so I just call him JP. But honestly, guys, I mean, let me ask you all this: if you got dirt track experience, if you're a dirt racer on iRacing, can that come into play for this track? Because you can kind of see what we seen a minute ago with the 54 trying to dive underneath. You see it right there. Kind of like a slide job. Does that, that's a dirt racing move. If you got dirt racing experience, does that come in handy for this?
I would say it does, Adam. Just because you can have more control of the car and you kind of know where the slip takes place of the tires, and you won't wind up pulling a Carl Edwards at Kansas or Jimmy Johnson like back in, maybe late 2000s, early 2010s. But I would say it definitely comes in handy here, especially here, more than say a Martinsville or something like that.
Yeah, Martinsville, you're pretty much going to stay on the low line the entire time. And here it seems like it's all over the place. I'm going to be honest, this is some of the best racing we've seen in a while. Well, I ain't going to say a while. The last few weeks have been great. So I'm definitely not surprised to see this type of race. I mean, these cars are nose to tail all over the place. Somebody's starting to move up. I mentioned earlier, Donald Clark, now up to 5th.
Oh, he just tagged the wall.
And there's contact between the 83 and 54. And Donald Clark did tag the wall as Andrew Wooten looks to go underneath him. We're going to stay for second right now. Looks like Brian Hacker actually working on the 83 of Adam Jocelyn in that purple number 11 car. And actually, 83 is just
he's our best mover of the race. He qualified after the invert. Well, he wasn't a part of the invert. Qualified 24th.
Yeah,
is now up to 5th.
That's impressive. Very impressive. Some guys just don't qualify that good. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I always have that trouble too, to be honest. Which I'm a horrible iRacer. That's why I broadcast. So.
Wow, this for the lead is incredible. And I think we're going to see about 4 or 5 other guys up here soon.
Yeah, I agree. You see right now who's going to lead the time. Who's going to lead? It looks like 25 did lead that lap. He did as we work lap 51 now. Here comes the 54. I can't believe the 54 is still making it stick down there.
Yeah,
I'm actually very surprised.
He's got to have a strong car to be able to do that.
Possible when the caution comes out, we could see these guys come down pit road. That's going to be a big factor. As the 54 puts the 25 in the wall. I ain't going to say put him in the wall. Slid up in front of him, put him in the wall. That's probably not going to make the 25 of Jason too happy. So that's going to be interesting. Here comes the 83 of Adam Jocelyn now. You better watch out for that 11 as well. He looks to be very fast. But I'm sure the 25 not very happy. The 54 came up just a little bit, and I don't know if there's actually any contact. 11 going to get loose.
Woo,
Brian Hacker, yeah, great save. Now Donald Clark going to try to take that spot away. Looks like he's going to be able to. Here comes the 51 and the 60 now, working their way up through the field. Plus the 2 is there as well. How about the 46? He's got a little bit of damage. Philip Martin, man, these guys are all over the place. I don't know who to watch.
Yeah, it looks like the 18 of Clark scraped the wall again, headed into 1. That car must be made.
He's going to get loose, yeah.
Steel, because that thing just keeps on going. So, we'll have to keep watching him. But I've been watching the last few laps, the back of the field here, and from about Brian Hacker on to maybe the 00 of Russell Brown Jr., and they are just slicing and dicing. So we got battles in the front, in the middle, the back.
Yeah,
and
so
the radio is getting chippy, let me tell you.
This is why we don't play radio over the broadcast, because I can imagine, like I want to, but you just never know who's listening, and so we kind of, keep it away from the chat, on board chat. So it's pretty, it's interesting though.
I've actually gotten in trouble with a couple
people.
Yeah. When my radio was unbeknownst to me, live streamed by my teammates.
Yeah, see, like, I like it. I love the onboard communication. I wish we could do it so that way we could do like a radioactive type thing. But, you never know what you're going to get, and, I can kind of understand why people sometimes don't like it. It would be nice to have it playing every once in a while, though. So we're watching, I don't really know who to watch. I'm watching the 2 right now, Andrew Wooten, and he's actually may look underneath the 11.
Ooh, it looks like he thought better of it. He'd rather have that high line instead of to the inside and get freight trained on the outside.
We're actually seeing the 75 come back as well. We've seen him, Patrick Smith. He's running in 12th right now at the very tail end of these guys, and then there's a pretty big gap to the 26 of Dell Albright, who's back in 13th.
And it's worth noting, the 75, the 46, and the 60 come a long way in speed this season.
Yeah.
They've recently joined up with Logan Runyon on their team, and I think that's breathed a little life
Yeah.
into them.
Yeah.
So they've been running some fast laps. I've been watching the times, and they've run some fast laps tonight.
Last year's season champion and 3-time winner this season. I don't think that's a bad person to have on your team, let's be honest.
And the all-time wins leader in our league.
Yeah, and Shivano's just over shaking his head from last season.
Yeah. Right on.
All right, so here comes the 46 looking underneath the 2. This is going to be close with
this
3
is
wide.
good.
Did they clear it? No, still 3 wide. Oh,
Wow,
somebody's
they got
going to
3 wide.
give. Something's got to give.
Look at that
And,
slide.
wow, Andrew actually makes a really nice pass on the 46.
He's impressing me.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I've watched him, you know, like I said, this past week. We can actually start seeing marbles now for him at the top of the track, too. Here comes Donald Clark back on the outside of the 46, trying to get it as we are up in a blimp view just in case anybody wants to know. You also see the 75 trying to pass contact.
Oh, no.
A big wreck.
Big wreck.
And that may, I don't know whose fault. We'll get an instant replay as they're still wrecking.
I'm going to mute you guys because I
That's
know I've got some work to do.
Yeah.
So looking at the replay, did the 46 hit the apron? No, he actually came up off the track a little bit, and that will put, it looks like about 3 cars, I believe, 4 cars total involved.
You know what, Adam? I'm taking another look as well. So the 46 did come up into the 2, but the 2 had a couple lanes on the outside.
Right.
I don't know if that's kind of where the 2's been running all night, so he's been establishing that line, but looks like they were just fighting over the same piece of real estate.
Real fast, let me look at this again. I'm looking at it. Did the 2 actually start getting loose on exit?
If he did, the 46 finished him off.
Yeah, I think he was actually getting loose, which, I mean, I know that's not going to change the outcome of penalties or anything like that, but it looked like he
Sure.
could have had the back end maybe starting to come around. I'm not sure, but from that angle, it kind of looked like it. All right,
He was
so
getting that time in the run. You know,
Yeah.
they're running on hot, slick tires. They've had him since lap 1.
I
That's
just
true.
communicated to both of them. You know, I thought that was a racing deal. One of them was
Yeah,
coming up,
I
the other
agree.
one was going down.
I agree. So pit stops underway. Gosh, I gotta get used to this new ticker stuff. Where's my pit stop stuff at? There we go. Watching the 54 on pit road. This is a 2-tire stop, guys. That's why you're seeing our leaders come in. They are allowed to only take 2 tires. Let me ask you a question, Adam. What was the idea of putting, you know, these guys only allowing tires so often? That goes for a lot of these races. Sometimes you don't allow tires, sometimes you do. What was the thought process in doing that? Why did you do that?
I just wanted some realism.
Right.
You know, in a super late model, you're not going to be changing tires
Right.
every time the caution comes out. And nobody does that in super late model races.
Right.
Most races are limited for tires. So I thought that was a good idea here. I think it's going to be an interesting challenge. You saw Jacob Smith not have a good stop there.
Yeah, Jacob Smith, 17.30 on the pit stop, and the JP stayed out, and Philip Martin, the 46, stays out, and then Dale Albright up to 3rd, Aaron Corey now 4th, Tommy Haynes 5th, Adam Jocelyn now 6th. So definitely a shakeup, which is going to be interesting. Who has the best lap so far of this race? Let me actually switch this. Fastest lap looks like it is, well, if it ever goes by again, I'll tell you who it was. I think it's actually Adam Jocelyn, but I want to make sure. Double check.
I'm seeing the best lap of the race is at 23.503 by the 18 of
That's what,
21.
yeah, yep, you're right.
Yeah, and he's back in 16th now. So
That's right.
he must
Wow.
have fixed some damage or something there.
Yeah, he got into the wall a couple times even before that wreck ultimately hurt him pretty good. But he was still, even with the damage, still fast. And honestly, I didn't think many people would be fast with the damage. So yeah, Donald Clark and Brian Hacker is actually the fastest laps on the board. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so sitting in the driver's seat here, you got 2 tires
Right.
on the right side. This car is just not going to take off. These cars, when you take 2 tires like this, they can get extremely tight because you have air pressure built up on the left side and none on the right. So your stagger split is pretty off. So these cars get really tight when you take 2 tires like this.
Something else I've noticed was the marbles. I mentioned it a minute ago. They're starting to get laid down quite a bit. Quite a bit of rubber getting laid down on the track. And the left side tires going to be hot. You could pick up your marbles. How bad can you actually wheel spin these cars? Does it happen quite a bit? Like I said, I'm kind of new to super late model racing. I've only broadcasted since last season for you guys and this season. Can wheel spin happen really easy like it can in some of these other cars that we've raced?
So the way that these cars are geared for this track, I don't believe they'll be able to get any wheel spin even if they stomp the gas pedal on the front stretch. But at a place like New Smyrna, a place like Martinsville, a place like Bristol, where all the weight is on the left side before they get.
I see what you're saying.
The right sides get real light, and those that rear differential will just spin right from out from under you.
Well, let me ask you this real fast. Out of all these guys so far, who have you been most impressed with? I mentioned that you're the league owner. Who are you most impressed with so far?
Man, I was really impressed with Jacob getting by and taking the lead there. But I'm also really impressed with our new Andrew Wooten until that wreck there. I was really impressed with the way he had come through the field. It looks like he's got a long road to hoe if he wants to get back up there.
Yeah, that's for sure. So we do got JP starting up in the front, Philip Martin. So this is going to be interesting because the 46, his car don't look the greatest. So we're going to find out how much damage really plays a factor or not. But he was still hanging with these guys earlier, so I don't know if it's going to be too big of a factor. So we'll see. As the pace car does get ready to drop back off, we're going to be going back green here on lap 67 once we hit the line. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out. We're underway once again here in Iowa. And yeah, you mentioned right there, no wheel spin it looked like from either car that I've seen. But we'll see which line plays off. It looks like the 60. JP going to be able to clear the 46. Here comes Dale Albright. No. Contact behind, yeah.
It looks like everybody kept it going. The
wow.
17 came off the wall into the 21 and
holy cow.
Hit him pretty square, which is good.
These guys are all over fighting for every position. This is a chance for a championship. I mean, they have to win. These guys have to win to get in. And 25 and 83 just made contact. 25 going to go wide. The 83 able to keep going, though. Here comes the 25 once again to the low or high side, right behind the 17. Going to try to squeeze it in and had to think better of it and back out now. Once again, he's back 3 wide. And out of turn 4. Wow, that 25 is moving. Able to pass 2 cars. Gets around the 83 of Adam Jocelyn and the 17. Also that 54. We mentioned him a few moments ago. Now up to 8th place as he works alongside the 17.
54 is going to be one to watch. I think he's seeing red after being mired back in the field here. So he qualified 14th, but I think he's got a lot of better car than that.
Yeah,
he does.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He does, but I mean, you got to look. JP's checked out. You got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, and very little time.
Very little time.
Yeah, we're now on lap 70. Let me ask you a question. This is an open setup league. I don't know about your team in general, but how much time do you all usually put in on a set week in, week out? Because your whole team's competitive weekend. Contact 26 going to go around. Contact from the 46. No green or no caution.
He saved it. Whoa.
I don't know how 26 did that. Wow. That is insane. So Dale Albright with a great save does try to fall. He is losing a couple spots now, but actually didn't lose as many as what I thought. We're 3 wide going through turn 3 and 4. He's caught in the middle between the 54 and the 18. The 18 will clear the 26, Donald Clark, and the 54, Jacob Smith. Right up in front of them, Adam Jocelyn now to the inside of Brian Hacker. I'll get to that question here in a minute. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Good gosh. That's crazy.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know how they're keeping it going straight. I mean, I'm seeing cars bounce off the wall into each other, and honestly, this is great super late model racing. Wow, the 83 got really loose coming out of turn 4. We're 3 wide once again. Jocelyn to the bottom, 54 on the middle, and the 18 up on the high side. Contact behind. Looks like the 17 and 00 getting to the wall. And Jocelyn gets loose.
That's just a product of how close these guys are racing. They were farther apart under yellow than they are right now. So this is great stuff right here.
Yeah, I mean, the entire field right now only separated by, well, their top, let's see, let me average this, 5 seconds, I think, for almost the entire field. That's not bad.
For 17 cars, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. And honestly, if you wanted to cut that in half a little bit and go from third back, it's way less than that. It's like 2.5, 3 seconds. I mean, it's really close because JP's kind of checked out right now.
Yeah, but Tarasenko's been one of the fastest cars on the track, lap after lap, by almost a tenth over the leader. So
yeah, he was faster last time. You're right. Wow. So that's interesting. How many? I don't know. 25. I don't know if he's new. I don't remember ever broadcasting many races with him in it. Is this his first race in here?
I believe this is his first race.
I think so. Yeah.
So if he were to win, he would not transfer.
Okay. So would anybody transfer if he were to win? Would it go to the next highest? Okay.
Go to points.
Okay.
Yes.
So JP trying to hold on, and I don't know if that's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see if he can.
Well, that last lap, JP was only slower by, a hundredth of a second, a couple hundredths of a second, so not too bad.
And also, JP hasn't took tires yet. So, correct. I mean, she's only got, what, you said lap 100, I believe, so like 23 laps, I believe, till he's got to take tires. I mean, there's actually him and Philip Martin both have not took tires, and Adam Jocelyn has not took tires. Adam Jocelyn actually showed he was on pit lane, but he shows he did not stop. That's weird. So no pit stop for him. He may have missed his box or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like that last time by, and even the time before that, fastest car on the track, the 92 of David Knowles. Mr. Maddox and I, are really close with David, and we know what kind of car he has when he comes to life at the end of the races. So let's keep an eye on him. He's now in 7th, qualified 18th.
David and I are very similar. We come on late in races. That's just how we're programmed. So David is a guy that likes to take care of his stuff.
And he's actually working on 6th place right now. And that's Jacob Smith he's actually with. So that goes to show you what kind of setup he's got. I was mentioning about the setups a minute ago. How much time do you total spend on setups? Do you change it for each driver? Is it just one setup based on your team? And how much time do you all put in it on that?
I'd say we all end up running different setups, actually. I mean, we share what we have, but we all drive so differently that as for me, I have a setup for a track like this size. I have a flat track setup. I've got a high bank setup.
Okay.
And a spring package, and then I tweak from there. So the setup in David's car is the setup that I should have won Richmond with, just with a couple changes.
Let me ask you all this, going off of that question. And I'm kind of curious. I've been wondering about this. Like I said, I'm kind of new to super late models. You see them going through the turn right now. You see that the front end's kind of higher on some cars and lower on the other side, of course. Is it better if the car is flat with the track, kind of like a cup car, or do you want that left front to come up off the ground a little bit?
You want it sealed.
Okay.
And I don't know visually if that's completely accurate.
Right.
And it's not your car in iRacing. But by telemetry standpoint, our cars are sealed off.
Okay, yeah, that's what I always thought too. And I mean, I sit here looking. I see the 54 looks to be a little bit lower than the 11. From what I'm seeing, anyway, it looks like that. And I thought it was the lower the better. I was just curious if it was the same with super late models or not. We also see a lot of rubber getting laid down in the turns. I don't know if it shows it on the broadcast that great, but I'm starting to see it pretty good. We'll see if we can hop on the nose here of David Knowles. We'll actually hop on board instead and see if we can actually see the rubber going into the turn. Yeah, you can see it right there. It's right in the center, actually. You see it more in the middle, right below or right on that first dotted line more than you do anywhere else.
Yeah, we also have a new leader. Jason has gotten by.
Oh, wow.
And Donald Clark is moved up to 3rd.
Wow. Okay. Well, Donald, so much. We got a slow car. Who is that? We got a really slow car. It looks like...
Is that the 21?
The 31. Or 31 slow and somebody else. Who was that? Yeah, it was the 21. That was slow. I'm not sure what happened.
Corey.
Looks like he's back up to speed now. Maybe he just got loose coming off turn 4 and I didn't see
Might
it.
have had a close call there and had to save it. So
yeah, the 31's actually coming down pit road. I'm wondering if actually him and the 31 got together a little bit.
The 31's 12 laps down.
Oh, okay.
So I think there may be something else going on there.
So we're actually seeing the 25 right now. That's who we're watching. But we mentioned Donald Clark. Donald Clark right now the fastest on the track besides Jason Day. Jason Day the fastest last time by with the 24.097. Keep in mind, once these guys hit lap 100, no tires can be taken. And I'm going to be honest, if a caution was to come out, I know JP would probably come down and take tires. I mean, as short as these laps are going by, we're seeing some green flag racing right now. I don't know if fresh tires would help you that much, being how many cars we got left in the race.
I tell you what, if it was win and in, and I wasn't in it by the points, I'd come down, I'd take my 2 tires.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd slap 75% tape on that bad boy and I'd roll.
Yeah, because if we have the late race caution, I think we're going to see just some. We got some stuff flying off the 44. Looks like he's going to be coming down the pit road as well with damage. He's been damaged pretty much the whole race since the start of the green flag. He's only actually 1 lap down, though. Maybe 2 laps down now, but he's actually done pretty good for as much damage as what he's had. But, all right, let's jump up a little bit. Looks like Donald Clark working on the 60. This is for 2nd place, and honestly, even with the damage that the 18 has, he's driving that car really good, by the way. That's my paint on his car. I just got to shout that out.
Nice. Good.
Yeah. Had to paint that
The
up.
left side of it looks good. The right side looks pretty bad.
He crashed my car. I'm taking that sponsor off of it. Nah, he's a really good driver. I'm actually a big fan of Donald. Watching him race the past couple weeks, he's been caught up in a little bit of stuff. Some his fault, some not. But honestly, looks like he's going to go down to 60 pretty easy using a low line, kind of like a slide job. We just seen that. And, well, here comes the 60. I say easy, maybe not. I guess nothing comes too easy in racing, so
Yeah,
we'll see
and
what
as a
happens.
driver, when you get by someone like that and they slide job you, that is the most annoying thing in the world. That tears me up more than anything.
So we're watching the battle for 2nd. The reason why we're showing this one, this is pretty important because if Donald Clark can get by, it's going to be interesting to see if he can run down the 25. And actually, you see Brian Hacker actually closing in on the back of the 60 as well. It does look like Clark will get around JP this time. And that's going to be frustrating for JP, though, honestly, because he knows he needs to win to make the chase. And, I mean, that's pretty much watching your championship go out, the door. And that goes for any of these guys. Right now, Donald's still 1.7 seconds behind. That's the championship chance in front of him. This is pretty much a championship race for non-chasers to make the main race or main championship. So it's got to be frustrating if you're a little bit further back and you see that, or you see the 25 just pulling away.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, since the 2 of them are single file, we should keep an eye. Well, I'll keep an eye out on lap times here between the 25 and the 18. They're separated by 1.4 as we speak, but if I see them within, say, a half a second or so, we'll see what this battle looks like.
I was sitting here looking, and depending on what happens, if sometimes it does go to points, it's going to be interesting because David Knowles is only, looks like 5 points behind Tommy Hayes. And if it goes to points, that's going to be very interesting to see how this shapes up to make the chase.
Yeah, Maddox, I don't know if you remember off the top of your head what the points look like if, say, a first-timer were to win. That wouldn't be eligible, but do you recall?
Yeah, let me I actually have it right here. Looking at the points right now, we know that Josh Hart has conceded his spot. He will not be running in the playoffs, so that's an open spot. So we got Logan, Chris, myself, AJ, and Royce. There's 5 of us. So that would leave 3 more spots. Right now, David Knowles, Tommy Haynes, and Philip Martin, all in good positions. But JP is only 1 point behind Philip Martin.
So that's big right there.
Race.
Yeah, that's really big, especially being JP's in 3rd and Philip Martin's back in, 11th right now?
Yeah, but I have to preface it all with these guys get 1 drop week. So depending on what their worst race was, depends on how these points shake out. So it's really up in the air till the end. It's hard to calculate.
Got it.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see. Because next week's going to be fun. I know you guys are probably a little bit stressed out, but for me, I love it. I think it's going to be great. New Smyrna is a good track and a very fun track. I actually, first time I ever broadcasted there was for you all. So really looking forward to the chase. It's going to be a good one. Looks like Donald Clark's actually fallen off a little bit. Looks like the 25 actually picked up the pace last time by. He's now almost 8 seconds back. And I say that, and he just closed that gap up a little bit as he exit turn 4. We'll see who's faster this time. It is, yeah, Jason once again a little bit faster. It still looks like the fastest actually out on track. David Knowles that time by with the 24.400, which shows him in 5th place at the moment. And
so Adam
sorry,
Johnson just disconnected. So
really,
I don't know what happened there, but he is retired from the race.
Okay. So 83. Yeah, he was falling back a little bit. I wonder if that had something to do with it ever since earlier. And he was fast early in this race too. I don't know if his setup may just not have been, great for long runs. Because I'll be honest, Iowa's a very tough place to race. I think everybody here knows that. And these guys have done a great job. I mean, we haven't had very many cautions, to be completely honest. We've had 5 cautions, I think, for 27 laps. That's not too bad for 100 laps led, or 100 laps so far. 5 lead changes.
And that's a product of how great, how respectful these drivers are, and how great they are at controlling their cars here. Let's give a shout out really quick to the 91 of Jerry Stone. He has put back to back fastest laps on the track. Ran a 24.2, 24.2 and a half, 24.3. So we'll see if maybe he can crack the top 5 before this one's over. Yeah,
and his car actually don't look too bad either. It actually don't have I don't know if I see any damage. I'm looking. Let me actually change the view a little bit better. Yeah, so far his car actually looks pretty clean. Not bad at all.
And the guys around him, they're running 24.6s. He's running 3s and 4s. So
yeah,
I think
you're
he's
right.
Gonna make up some spots, but Tarasenko just put down a 261 last lap.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So here comes the 91. He's looking underneath Jason Day. And remember, a few moments ago, Jason Day was actually the fastest on track. But now here comes the 91 trying to pass him. That is for 7th place.
And let's just mention the tire window has come and gone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's not good for JP at all. Or Philip Martin. These guys banked on another caution. And to be honest, I can kind of see why, because it's the longest run we've been. I believe this is the longest run we've actually had.
We got a wreck on the front stretch here. The 26,
yeah.
Like.
And I don't know if caution's going to come out.
I haven't heard anything yet, but the 2's got it spun around here just after the start-finish line. He's headed towards turn 1, but that's a tough break for those 2 guys.
It's really big for Dale.
Surface.
Yeah, and it's really big for Dale because of the points. So this is really going to shake things up for him. And he actually I think there was just some heated stuff that just happened here too.
I think so too.
See, the 26 pulled forward, I believe, the 2, and he has disconnected as well.
Andrew Wooten just got himself a suspension for the rest of the season.
Definitely see that one. Could definitely see that. So caution does come out, and that's a tough break for Dale because you see the smoke coming out. The good news, honestly, is for him is that the guys behind him is 10 laps down is the closest one. So he's only going to lose at least only one more spot, maybe. So we'll see. It could be a lot worse if everybody. But what's interesting, no tires for the 60. You cannot take tires now. And also, what's going to happen in their top 5? It's going to be very interesting, especially with Donald Clark now able to be start side by side with the 25. Also, guys, want to give a shout out to the sponsors. If you all don't know, our insurance options and Midwest Power Source. Go check them out. They sponsor the league. Very good group of partners for these guys that came on board. I think they've been on the whole year, I believe.
They have been. They've been really supportive. So shout out to AJ Rogers and our insurance options and Midwest Power Source as well. Great partners to work with, so we appreciate their help.
Yeah, and to be honest, our insurance options I think actually sponsors a couple leagues, which is very awesome. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely wrong about that. But, yeah, very good partners for sure to have, and it seems like it's worked out really good for both sides of that. So, very good. And honestly, you couldn't run, these leagues without sponsors. I mean, that's just being honest. If you want to have a successful league broadcasted and stuff like that, it's good to have that. So,
you betcha.
All right. So, so the 2 is, a new driver to the league. Certainly not cool to come in, established series and behave that way. So I like to give people chances and give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But I stated at the beginning we had a lot on the line tonight, and they could have taken out a lot of cars there.
That's definitely true. You know, I'm a very hot-headed driver as well, and I usually sometimes it's been a long time since I've got that mad. You know, especially in a league race, that's something I tend not to do because honestly, you know, if you want to ever have a chance at the league again, you know, what's the point of doing that? So, you know, just try to move on. I understand you're mad, but you know, it's better just to move on. Trust me, I'm sure. And we all both know, and I'm not protecting Dale in any way when I say that. I don't personally know him that good. You all know him better than I do. But he don't race like that. I broadcast him enough to know. So, you know, there's no need to race somebody else like that.
Yeah, it looks like Dale just, you know, got in the wall, which that long of a run,
Happens.
these tires,
Yeah.
it happens. And, you know, the two didn't like it, and I didn't like the two's actions. So.
Yeah, I mean, if I got mad every time I got wrecked, I'd probably be banned from iRacing for a few years.
But I think, you know, the most mad person here right now should be the 25.
Yeah.
I'd be I'd be screaming inside that car right now.
How about David Knowles up to 4th?
Yeah,
That's who you better watch out for.
you heat cycle these tires. Jerry Stone's up to 6th. Jacob Smith's back in the hunt 5th. I mean, anything can happen on these restarts. We're gonna have what?
We're on
laps
lap.
to go.
Yeah, we're on lap 109 now. So yeah.
It looks like we're going to get 2 to green here. Everybody's still single file. So, yeah, right around 14 to go. Crunch time.
Also, guys, for anybody out there wondering, our next broadcast will be on actually Sunday afternoon. We broadcast at 2 p.m. and then we got one that night. And to be completely honest, I forgot all about the one on Sunday afternoon. It's a new league, and I completely forgot, so I apologize. It is the Swiss Federation, and I don't know much about them. They seem like a good group of guys, but it is road racing. It's like an hour-long race, I think. It's a timed race, I believe. So it'd be something a little bit different to broadcast for road racing fans. I forgot what cars they run. Off the top of my head, I'd have to look, but it looks fun. So we'll be with them guys on Sunday afternoon, then with the NASRA guys on Sunday night. I can't remember where they are. Then Red Light Racing Series. Then we're back here again on next Wednesday, New Smyrna, for the first chase race of the season, and I'm really looking forward to all the races coming up. Should be a very good time, and I love chase racing though. I don't know why.
Be a good one,
yeah,
Adam.
it is. It's gonna be very good, especially what we've seen tonight. Compared to coming next week, woo! Yeah, you all need a good run. Like you and Adam Maddox and everybody else need a very good run. Cause Logan's won 3 races. You all need a great run to be able to, you know, have a really good chance at winning. And I think you all do. I mean, we've seen it this season. It does look like Logan can be beat, you know, after all.
Yeah,
so
it's tough as hell, though.
yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. So
all right. Man, this is going to be wild.
bring us to the green flag.
All right, we got the 25. We got Jason Tarasenko leading us to green, but we got Donald King on the outside, and Donald needs a win to get in the playoffs. Jason will not transfer the playoffs because he hasn't had a start with us this year, but we also got Knowles and JP. They're pushing hard.
Yeah, look.
92 getting a good run on the outside here, but look at that 25 just take off. He's got about 10 car lengths back to the 60.
I'm not sure what happened to Donald Clark. He actually got in the wall coming off of 2. Here comes the 54. Now, remember, the 60 has not taken tires. 18 back in the wall again. Donald Clark losing a lot of spots here. Not what he wants to happen late in this race. Right now, though, is the 25 starting to pull away as he is now out to 6/10 of a second lead coming out of 2.
Here comes David Knowles to the inside of Jacob Smith. See if he can make it stick on the low side.
Ooh, he's all
Jacob's
the way
gonna hold
down
him
to that
down.
white line.
Oh,
Jacob's
man.
going to keep him down there, baby.
3 wide behind these guys. Contact made. There goes the 51 and 00. Going to spin to the inside. Jason Day looks like they are in the same spot. No caution will come out for that. That is the same spot that we seen a wreck happen earlier. So the race is going to be for 3rd place as the 92 and still the 54 go back down into turn number 3. And the 92 slide jobs to 54. So, unfortunately for Jason Day and the 00 of Russell Brown, actually, maybe Russell Brown, who else was in that? I see somebody
That
else.
was the 11 of Brian Hacker.
Oh, Brian Hacker, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Brian
actually losing it again. Yeah, he actually almost just lost it again coming out of 4 that time. These leaders are right behind.
Fast all year, and I just had some terrible luck, which I know they're feeling, so I hate to see that.
Yeah, we're on lap 115, guys. I know the ticker's showing weird because of the time limit thing, so I'll have to get that fixed for the next race. But we're on lap 115 of 125, so we're coming to 10 to go as we come out of turn 4. Jason Tarasenko, oh, I said it right now, coming out of turn 4. Going to lead this lap right now, and actually he's been up front quite a bit so far. He has led, what, 53 laps, I believe now? 54 laps now. And but I don't think the race is quite over. David Knowles starting to work his way up. We'll see if he can get up there or not to close this gap in. He's 1.6 seconds right now behind our leader.
Yeah, we got a tight battle here between Jerry Stone and the 18 of Donald Clark, and they've been going side by side for 5-6 laps now, as long as it looks like the 18 just cleared him. But the 00 wants to show his hand, see what he has.
And it's interesting. We're actually starting to see some of these guys, you know, maybe it's just where it's starting to become, well, past crunch time now. You got to try something. We're seeing the guys starting to try to make moves on the bottom side again. So that's very interesting. So coming out,
these guys have got to know, you know, Jason's out front. He can't transfer. So
that's true.
They got to have a good run. They got to preserve their good runs.
That is true. It looks like the 60, you know, actually last time by, JP was actually faster than the 25. And actually has closed the gap up a little bit. Did the 25 get the wall? He was faster again that time. Huh. This is interesting. So the 60 of JP may have a chance. Gap right now 0.6 of a second. And actually he's not very far at all behind. So there is a chance that he may be able to get up there and try to put a last lap or late race pass on the 25. And then we got a lap car up in front of these guys. Lap car could become a factor. I don't think it will, but you never know.
Or Jason gapped him by a 10th on that lap.
You are right, yeah. 24.307 at time for Jason. JP with a 24.403.
Yeah, it looks like if he did tap the wall there, he tightened it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more security for that last 5 laps.
So Brian Hacker's going to stay on the low side, which is a smart move for him. Not trying to get in any kind of accident this late in the race. So he will give way to the leader. And yeah, once again, that lap it does go to Tarasenko once again. And
177. We haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah. He saved that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So pretty much right now, their top 3 starting to space out. And then you got the 54, Jacob Smith, not too far behind the 92. I think this will be a good run for David. This may get him in the race on points, or in the chase on points, which would be pretty big. We'll have to wait and see, of course. But yeah, it could be big for David.
Yeah, I mean, David's real competition is Tommy Haynes and Philip Martin, who are running 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
So this is a good run.
So it all comes down really to points now. To be honest, I think David wouldn't mind if Philip or Tommy one either lost a couple spots just to make sure he's safe.
Yeah, I think JP is going to be putting the pressure on Philip Martin here too, and could sneak in.
Yeah, they're actually side by side. Philip Martin at a 17 right now, side by side going down into turn 3. We will jump back up to the lead here in just a moment as we are coming to 2 laps to go. Here in just a second. There we go. 2 laps to go. And Tommy Hayes is going to hold on to 7th for now. Donald Clark, Jerry Stone. And that 18.
Philip Martin's got loose coming out of the turn.
You're right. Yeah, 46 losing some spots. Now, that actually does help David Knowles. That may not help Philip. We'll see if he's able to get back. White flag out. Meanwhile, we got a race for 4th and 5th. We'll jump up to the leader. I don't know which one to watch. We'll stay with the leader for now as he works through turn 3. It looks like Jason Tarasenko going to be your winner here tonight at Iowa Speedway in a non-winners bracket. But coming out turn 4 will win at Iowa Speedway as the checker flag with JP finishing 2nd. David Knowles going to cross in 3rd. Jacob Smith in 4th. And Donald Clark manages to battle back after a couple accidents early and finishes 5th. Jerry Stone going to hold on to 6th. Tommy Hayes will finish in 7th. Aaron Corey, Jamie Christensen battles back for a 9th place finish, and Philip Martin will finish in 10th. We'll see how that puts him in points as well. That's going to be interesting. So right up front, you see as the 25 car going to celebrate here on the start-finish line with a big win. Started in 7th place. as he burns the house down.
Yeah,
We'll talk to
congrats
him.
to Jason. He drove a heck of a race.
That is, and you said this was his first race, I believe, for
That's
this
correct.
series.
So
Wow.
This will not qualify him for our playoffs.
Right.
We'll
a
have
big
to do
win.
some math on our end to see who does qualify.
Yeah, that's a really big win for him to come in here and get that win and walk out of here. I don't know if he's actually in TeamSpeak. I'm looking. Let me see. You all happen to see him in TeamSpeak? I don't see him. He may come in here in a minute. Let's pull in Justin if he's in. There he is. Hey, Justin, you got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, finishing second tonight, and to be honest, I thought you was going to fall off because you did not take tires the entire race. Was there a little bit of strategy on why you stayed out? And, you know, I know it's for the lead, of course, but did you think there would possibly another caution early so you can come back down and get tires? What was the strategy there?
Honestly, it was, you know, I was going to stay out to at least lap 80, and if we happen to have a caution between 80 and 100, I was going to take tires, and it just didn't work out that way.
You know, you got 4 top 5s on the season. How did you feel about coming here? It looks like you actually had a chance to win this thing. Did you feel that coming in? I mean, you started back in 9th place. Did you feel that coming in? Did you know you was actually this fast to be able to keep up with these guys as well?
Not at all, actually. I didn't have very much time to practice this week, and we've got a snowstorm, which I've been preparing for. I really was just running it just to place, and it worked out better than I thought it would.
Yeah, man, you actually was able to keep your car clean for pretty much most of the race. We know there was some incidences here and there between a bunch of different other drivers, but you come out here and lead 18 laps. What was the biggest challenge you actually faced? Was it the fact that the tires fell off? What was the biggest thing you faced from your end?
Yeah, it was pretty much the tires, and just the larger tracks like this. I'm not good on the driving line, and just making sure I was consistent on that is what really helped me at the end when my tires going bad.
I don't know how everybody else feels, but I feel like this is your best complete race that you've actually put together. You did come up just a little bit short, but I feel like this is the best race that I've seen you drive from the broadcast booth and stuff like that. You did a great run, finished second place. That's nothing to hold your head down about by any means. You started in 9th and led 18 laps, man. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything?
Yeah, I have quite a few. For one, I want to thank Triple Nickel, my sponsor. Also, Main Street Motorsports and Logan Runyon for all the help that they put in, and it's just a great team to be a part of.
Man, stay safe during a snowstorm. I'm not too far from Carolinas, and I'm in Tennessee, so hopefully don't get too bad there, and hopefully your power stays on because I know that could be rough. So hopefully we'll talk to you here soon, man. Congratulations on second place, and we'll speak to you next week.
All right, but I do appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Congrats, Justin.
Oh, sorry. If you have any questions, by the way, chime in. I just move people out randomly.
No worries.
Next up, David Knowles. Let me make sure that, yeah, we'll go ahead and put David in. David's got to be happy, I believe. Hey, David, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Man, 3rd place finish. Now, I'm not sure about the points yet. It looks like you could. I don't really know, so I'm going to skip the points for now. Started back in 18th place. You actually had, to be honest, you had the car, looks like, for the long run. How did the car set up? Are you happy with 3rd place?
Yes and no. It was 3rd place wasn't what I expected out of it. The way the evening started. It was definitely a long run car for sure. Hated to see that last caution. Don't know how it would have worked out, but that caution hurt me. The long run on the hot slick tires is where my car was hooked up the best.
Let me ask you a question. It looked like everybody's mentioning tires. We talked to Justin just a minute ago, and he didn't take tires, so I'm sure his was a little bit different. From the driver's standpoint, was that the biggest issue you had tonight? Was it just traffic? I mean, we've seen cars 3, almost 4 wide at times. What was the biggest issue you faced on your part?
It was so hard to pass. I could not make a pass on the bottom. Coming off of 2, if anybody pinched me down to the line, my car was gone. Tires, they helped me. The right side mismatch, I think, is what brought my car to life. First couple of laps, it was super tight until those pressures built up, but once they got built up and matched, it took off.
I don't know, like I said, I don't know about the chase stuff just yet. I'm still waiting to find out, and once we find out, I'm sure you'll know as well. As far as points and if you got into the chase, but How do you feel about heading to New Smyrna next week? Points aside and possible chase aside, how do you feel about heading to that track? We know that's a little way different track than Iowa.
I like that track. I like it better than here. I've never been able to get a hold of this place. This is by far the best run I've ever had here. But I like New Smyrna. It's different. But I've usually had pretty good luck there, and I enjoy that track.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if you're faster there than you are here, these guys better be worried. And I know you and your team have a good setup, man. So is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to? That was a very fun and exciting race to watch.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to ScrivanoGripHacks.org. And thank you guys for the broadcast and SRST Racing.
Maddox, Scrivano, Grip Hacks, you got any questions?
So, David, I just want to know, can I get the sheet metal of your hood when you're done with it?
You can. I'm probably going to run it again next week, but after that, it's all yours.
Nice.
10-4. Congrats on bronze, brother.
Thank you.
Racing Warehouse might be busy. All right, we'll talk to you here soon, David.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll bring in our winner, Jason Tarasenko. Did I say it right?
Tarasenko, you got it.
I learned from Adam Maddox and Royce a minute ago. It took me a while. Man, you drove one heck of a race, buddy. I mean, you led 64 laps. You started back in 7th. To be honest, when I first seen your name, I was like, who is this guy? You know, honestly. And, well,
I hear you.
You shut me up, and I think you shut up a lot of other people up because you went out and, to be honest, you put a beat down. What was the key to getting the victory here tonight?
You know, I love Iowa. That's why I showed up for this race. I spent a lot of time running super late models and recently moved to a new team that we do a lot of A-car stuff, and I've been so busy with that I haven't had a lot of time to run this super late model. So after a week and a half off here for the Christmas break and being away and not having the rig, I decided to jump into this one here as soon as I got back. So I'm glad I did. We did really well. I got to thank the guys at One Up Motorsports. They have one heck of a setup, that's for sure.
Yeah, you came in here, you played spoiler, just to let you know, for a lot of people trying to get into the chase, but there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You're here to win, and you came out here to did that 64 total laps led, man. What was the biggest issues that you had on your part? We heard some guys say so hard to pass, some guys said tires. What was the biggest issue you had?
Well, quite honestly, you know, just other than a scuff in the wall there that kind of gave us some damage, and I don't know, it was 40, 45 seconds worth of damage there. I know it's helped me aerodynamically, but we were able to run the top side, and running that top side, you know, the guys just can't get a run on you coming off the corner, and I think we were able to hold a bunch of guys back. And I know I saw the Roughnecks, they were up there, Brian and Bob and them guys were up there, and I thought, oh, we could be in for a bit of a run. And a bunch of these other guys, I don't know them, never raced with them, don't know how they race. So it was all a learning experience, that's for sure. But yeah, no, it seems to be a really good series, and we hope to come back for more. And I actually was going to come on and ask Adam if I was going to ruin it for anybody by winning it. I was actually thinking of pulling in on the last lap, but I didn't want to wreck it for any of the regulars.
You actually,
Jason, this is Adam Maddox. Hey, great run. That was a really exciting race. I'm glad you stayed out. I'm glad you didn't ruin anything for anyone. These guys can still get in on points. Want to thank you, Midwest Power Source. I know worked with AJ Rogers with our insurance options. Y'all putting a little money towards some things, and I appreciate that. But it was exciting to watch you tonight. My question as a driver is, you had Jacob Smith slide up front of you, says it's not intentional. You get in the wall a little bit. How do you recover from that and keep your wits about you? What's going through your mind at that point?
Basically, at that point, you turn the lack of aerodynamics into aggression, and you just drive it a little bit harder. You know what it's like. Sometimes you get beaten, banged, and you got to come back a little bit harder. You just got to overcome it and mentally just, for me, it was just a matter of running that top side, saving tire, because I knew if I could save the tire, we'd be around at the end. And you're right. I want to thank AJ for putting some money into this. He came to me, and I threw a little bit into, and I appreciate you guys doing this and putting this series on. You guys do a really good job. The car count's really way up, and you guys do a fantastic job, and I appreciate the broadcast being. When I can honestly say I haven't run it, this is my only one, but I've been watching every single one and seeing how the guys do, and so I really thank you guys for that.
Man,
well, thank you, Jason. And saying during the broadcast, if I'm in the car, I'm guarding that high line going after that. So I think we're thinking the same wavelength there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You just got to make sure you got the setup that'll make it work up there too.
It definitely seems like it was fast, man, for you. And honestly, like I said, I've never watched you race before, but these guys better be lucky you don't race a full season because they may be in trouble, man. Good run tonight. Is there anybody else or anything you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to thank Midwest Power Source, Harding Motorsports. Guys over at the Roughnecks, I moved from them over to One Up Motorsports, so I want to thank both those teams because I wouldn't be able to do as well as I do without any of those guys and the support that we give each other.
Man, good job, and I hope to see you race again because you was a one-man machine. So good job, and I'll talk to you here soon, hopefully.
You bet, man. I hope to be in these cars a bunch more, even though we're focused on the A car.
Thanks, buddy.
You the man.
Oh, sorry. Why do I always move people out when you say that as soon as that happens? Anyway, let me ask you all. Adam, let me ask you, start with you first. Driver, or from the broadcast standpoint, overall, happy with the race?
I'm thrilled with the race. I'm glad I wasn't in it. That looked stressful, but it was a great race. Just so many lines, cars moving around, and some strategy thrown in. I thought it was great. Cars coming from front to back all night.
Royce, what's your opinion?
Yeah, just to add to that, so the multiple lines was what we were coming to expect from this track when we saw it in practice. But seeing guys actually, hang on to it, stay 2 and 3 wide, 5 and 10 laps into the run was hard to watch because I was biting my nails. But it was worthwhile seeing it from up in the booth. So I appreciate letting Maddox and I come up here and join you. It's a real treat, man.
Man, I honestly had a blast. I honestly, just listening to Adam's questions, I think I learned a little bit of something that I can use for my next broadcast, and that's weird because I've never said that to anybody that's actually broadcasted me before. It was awesome having you two up in here. I mean, y'all ever get out of the race car, you should think about broadcasting because y'all do a great job of it, seriously, and I really mean that, so keep doing it.
That means a lot, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I just got to shout out our insurance options at Midwest Power Source. Guys over at the Roughnecks for stepping up and putting their sponsorship on the series. All the admins at SRST Racing, and especially you, Adam, at TRN. Like I said several weeks ago, I'll say it again. You need a good broadcast. Adam Chapman's your man. If you need a good paint, Adam's your man.
Thank you all for helping me out. I know I say that quite a bit. You all understand when I have trouble sometimes on my end, but y'all are very respectful of it. So thank you all very much, and I very much look forward to next week. So thank y'all for joining me. That's going to do it for us tonight, guys. We will be back on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Great racing here tonight. We will keep, as soon as I find out the points. You don't have the points yet, do you?
No, I'll have them within an hour.
As soon as I find them out, we will post that to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TrackSideTV. And you can also go to Facebook, SRST, and check them out over there as well. And you got a website. Is it up yet?
Yeah, SRSTRacing.com.
There you go. And I'm sure he'll have it up there as well. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll talk to you all later. Have a great night, and God bless as always.